Good morning, everybody. If it's morning for you, it's Phoenix time here. So it's about 9:15. And I just want to share some things that I'm learning, and I hope they help you. There's been a lot of interesting energies coming through. If anybody's into going on YouTube or learning about spiritual awakening or ascension, or just raising your awareness and who you are, I understand it's been a very challenging time. The one thing I want to say is don't measure yourself up against anyone else. It's so easy to look at some of those videos of people doing quantum healing and sharing their journeys through consciousness, but really it's a personal journey. It's a personal journey through activating your ability to love yourself, to be able to receive. Healing is about letting go so that we can receive and balance our energies so that we're in the balance of the yin and the yang, which is the masculine and the feminine. So there's lots of ways to do that. I believe self-love is a practice. It's something that we actually have to learn on this planet, and remember that we are spiritual beings, but we're also physical beings, and we're working with our ego. And our egos are kind of like being challenged right now. I notice for my own journey, I go back and forth working on something. I'm healing. Actually, I've been working on a lot of things. I think so many of us are, that it can get confusing and kind of frightening. And a lot of times I feel like I'm never going to get there. And then I have to practice kindness and patience with myself. It's a constant awareness of managing our thoughts. But it's more than that. It's kind of taking a deep dive into what's really trapped inside of our bodies and knowing that it's just energy. And for a while, I was identifying the energies of what was coming up into my heart, a lot of childhood stuff, no judgment, just having an awareness and just witnessing what I had experienced and the patterns that I had created. It's not an easy journey to take, and if you need help, I recommend that you get someone to hold space for you, someone who understands and doesn't try to tell you what to do, just can really hear you and hear your story, but give you really great wisdom on how to just allow yourself, which is what I'm learning, to really process some of the emotions I never allowed myself to do because I've always been such a huge giver, and I gave myself to others because I thought that was what I was meant to do. I thought that's what service is. And I'm not sorry for what I did. It was a wonderful journey, but now I have a lot of leftovers inside of me that are looking to be honored or acknowledged, whatever you decide that is for you. It's been very challenging, I understand. I'm grieving also still the loss of my husband. Not that he's lost, but it's the loss of my dreams, the loss of what we had created. So there's a lot of that too. So I'm sure you all have your challenges, but I want to talk about what it means to really love yourself. It's not just, oh, I love myself. It's making choices that support the love. I know people talk about boundaries, but I think it's more of something that's very flexible in that making the choice in that moment of what's right for you, supporting that self-love with a good commitment to yourself, and weighing the difference between what you're responsible for and what's good for you, and finding ways to communicate that where it comes from kindness and from our heart center. So we're relearning how to get from our brain to our hearts and to communicate through our heart. And that's what I know I'm learning. I'm having a lot of things come up in my throat. It's been really an interesting journey because I know how to move energy. So my body has stopped me from doing that. And I'm really working on focusing and asking myself, my soul, to reveal to me what it is I need to know about that. And it doesn't have to be literal, but actually doing a lot of inner child work, because that's where the wounds are for a lot of us. So just using, apologizing to myself for kind of its self-abuse in a way, where I gave because I can, And that was what I was doing at the time. And now I'm relearning that. I've learned the word reparenting from somebody that I work with and love. And she's kind of right. We have to go back and reparent ourselves and give us the things that we didn't get when we were children, not because we're judging our parents, but because they just did what they knew at the time. So, being that I was born in the 50s, I'm really learning to really allow my emotions to flow and not be consumed, which is Saint Germain's word, consumed by energies that made it so that it wasn't okay for me unless I was giving to everyone else. And I wouldn't trade that. I learned a lot from it. There is some anger, I'm sure, but I'm working with all that energy and understanding that I wouldn't be this person that I am without all those experiences. So, like I said, it's a minute to minute thing, practicing the self-love and self-care, making choices that will benefit myself first, and staying out of everybody else's reality and just sharing my love and my light with those, making it okay for me to speak in a way that works for me from my heart, and letting go of some old past experiences, not just from this life, but from probably other lives, because the past is here right now. And it's really giving us the opportunity to heal everything all in one felt swoop kind of a thing, where, so it's a lot to process. I've struggled myself. I know some of my dearest soulmates have really had their own challenges, and we come together and we listen to each other. Get help if you need it. I did. I really needed some support other than the things that I understood in my spirit. I have a pretty strong connection, and for a while I thought I lost it. And I know I've heard other people say that, and I think it's an opportunity for us to go within so that we can kind of shut out all that old stuff and really focus on the physical healing that I know I needed. I don't know about anyone else, but I know it's kind of been a physical thing. And working with my old patterns, and a lot of people are calling it our egos that trip us up, and really reteaching myself to know that my subconscious is my true healer, and that consciousness goes to the light that we're made of, and just allowing myself to embrace more of that light within me without judgment. That's another big thing, is the self-criticism and judgment, and really get some patterns of self-talk, which is something we have to practice. I lose myself all the time. I start out in the morning, and then by midday or late day, I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened to all that great meditation I did? So really what I do is I go back to my breath, and I really start to begin to breathe, because your breath is your bridge to your own heart, to your own soul, to your own spirit. And then making it okay for me to kind of embody, allow my spirit to come all the way in so that I can live from my wisdom. And so it is, an interesting journey that we're on. I had a friend reach out and ask for prayers, so I instead of wanting to fix it, which is my old thing, I know I can't fix anyone. I have to see the world in its polarity, and I know that people are suffering looking outside of themselves. And really we have to have polarity. We have to have, the balance of the different things in order to learn how to see the center and see only love, unconditional love, which is the Christ consciousness, which was what God does for us. God doesn't judge us, we do. So we're transcending that, moving into our divinity and our light, and it takes time. Be patient with yourself, be kind, understanding. What could we do to transcend some of our old shame, which came from my therapist. She asked me a really important question. How can you help yourself? What can you give yourself when you begin to do that cycle of either shame or guilt, whatever it is? And I answered her and I said, I can give myself compassion, kindness, understanding, hold my heart, hold myself. And it just helped me soften myself and really go into myself and have that compassion that I've always given out to others, but I can return that to myself. So God bless you all. I hope some of this may have triggered something in you that might help you. And I just felt compelled after such a long time that I haven't shared anything with you. And just know that you're all in my heart. God bless you.